Louisiana is remembering one of its most colorful political figures. Former congressman and the state's only four-term governor, Edwin Edwards, died at the age of 93. According to a family spokesperson, Edwards died this morning at his home in Gonzales, surrounded by family and friends. Tonight, we're hearing from some of those who knew the former governor best. Three's on the street tonight. Amon Boyd live in Crowley with a closer look at how Edwards, where he started his political career, how the people there are remembering the former governor. Iman.
Marcel, many who worked alongside former Governor Edwards say that he was an honest and charismatic man, and they will continue to follow his example.
He really was a man who loved the state, and he loved the people in the state, and he was trying to do whatever he could to promote the state.
What started off as a rocky relationship with the former governor turned into a lifelong friendship. Leo Honeycutt says once he started working on Edwards' biography is when things changed.
Here was a guy who just refused to be bitter about things, and there's a real lesson in that. In fact, he told me one day in prison, he said, if you want to live a long life, don't hold a grudge. Don't camp around bad things that have happened to you. Forgive, forget, and move on. That really taught me a lot. I mean, you had to admire somebody like that.
Sandra Herman, who not only was the first woman to run a state-level department, but also helped implement the master plan for the Atchafalaya Basin, remembers the former governor fondly.
I watched the way that he handled people. I watched the way that he gave his speeches, and I learned so much about the way to bring people together. He brought enemies and friends, and we miss that kind of thing right now. So his ability to bring all sides together is something that I learned.
Honeycutt says what Edwards wanted more than anything in Louisiana politics was for people to work together. It was a dream, Honeycutt says, stayed with Edwards until the end.
His hope was that he had helped a lot of people out there, and he was hoping that they would in turn help others down the way. He said you never wanted to create enemies. You always wanted to leave the door open. Leave the door open to compromise and always listen to the other side. And he said, I felt like I did that best. That was my real strong suit.
Funeral arrangements for Governor Edwards are pending. Three's on the street, live in Crowley. Iman Boyd, KTC TV3.
The passing of Edwin Edwards, although prompted a number of Louisiana lawmakers to offer their thoughts on the man and his legacy. We spoke with two former lawmakers who knew him well, former State Senator Donald Craven Sr. and former U.S. Congressman Jimmy Hayes. Both told us Edwards had an incredible gift of being able to bring people together, regardless of their race, gender, religion, or even political views.
Extremely well liked, and who really had a direct people connection. If you want to know who he most reminds me of, the national figure, it's Clinton. Bill Clinton had that same kind of connection with individuals. Edwin would remember people and when they had met, when they had talked to him before.
I think he's going to be well thought of, and his legacy will be one of accomplishment and success and progress in and for the state of Louisiana.
Both say Edwards loved the state of Louisiana, and he had a genuine affection for the people who call it home. Well, following the announcement of his death, several current elected officials have issued statements about the former governor. Governor John Bel Edwards had this to say. Few people have made such an indelible mark on our state as Governor Edwin Edwards. Edwin was a larger-than-life figure known for his wit and charm, but he will equally be remembered for being a compassionate leader who cared for the plight of all Louisianians. Our state has lost a giant, and we will miss him dearly. And Congressman Clay Higgins issued a statement. It reads in part, Edwin was engaging and kind. He was a legend in this life, yet he clearly understood that our time here is fleeting. I will miss him. Before former Governor Edwards took office, he started his political career in Crowley. In 1954 to 1964, he served on Crowley City Council. In 1965, he was elected to Congress for the first time. That's when he met his law partner, Stephen Stefanski, who was on a date with Edwards' niece at the time. Stefanski still practices law in the same Crowley office he used to share with Edwards. He tells KATC the former governor was a dynamic attorney, and he will continue to do his best to honor his friend.
He might have had that flamboyant attitude, but he was good and decent to people. I don't care, rich, poor, black, white, he treated everybody the same. He never took advantage of people. did a lot of work for free for people who knew he couldn't pay.
With the passing of former Governor Edwards, LPB and the Louisiana Digital Media Archive have compiled some of his work, highlighting his political career. It includes profiles, interviews, and debates. The archives are available for view for free on Louisiana Digital Media, or LPB's website. You can find a link to both on our homepage. And if you would like to read more of the tributes to the former governor, plus take a look at all of today's coverage, you can find it all in one place, KATC.com.